Welcome back in. It's another edition of Where the 99 Lead. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville and, of course, the historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus. They also lead from campus back into the community. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and today an edition of the Admissions Corner with Gary Justice, Director of Admissions, and Amber Collins, an admissions counselor at the University of Pikeville. And before we go any further, let's reintroduce you folks to our viewers, our listeners, to those that are tuned in. Gary Justice, welcome in. Let's have some background.
Always a pleasure to be back with you, Andrew.
Indeed.
Johns Creek High School graduate, 1992.
And proud.
And proud.
Proud Bearcat.
Yes. And also a then Pikeville College graduate in 1996. Sure. Very proud as well.
Absolutely. Coming home. And Amber Collins, admissions counselor, welcome back in.
Thank you.
A return guest to Where the 99 Lead. Amber, let's have some background.
Okay, my name is Amber Collins, used to be Amber Thacker.
Sure.
I graduated from Pike Central in 2003, and then I went to Pikeville College, and I graduated in 2007 with a Bachelor's of Science in Communication.
Very good. And both from the Pike Central, Johns Creek, now Pike Central, a consolidated Johns Creek and Mullins High Schools, land at Pike Central, but we're all part of the UPike family, the UPike community. Gary, let's talk about you being an alum of Pikeville College, then Pikeville College, now the University of Pikeville, and let's talk about what it's like to recruit students and bringing them back to your alma mater. How does that process change for you?
Well, Pikeville is a very special place to me. Coming out of high school, I played baseball. I wasn't focused on my studies.
Sure.
I was focused on more throwing about the baseball. But coming to Pikeville, coming to a small campus and a small school, I had the right people get a hold of me and pull me in the right direction, and really change my focus to studies versus just baseball. Sure. So when I go out and recruit high school students, I tell them my story. Tell them out in high school didn't do too well in the ACT.
Right.
Didn't do too well in the classroom, but coming to Pikeville, utilized all the services that Pikeville College had at the time.
Right.
Still has the present day. So, and I tell them how I use baseball as a motivating factor in the classroom as well.
Absolutely. Do you encounter students that maybe haven't taken the ACT as seriously as they should have? It was just another standardized exam. They didn't realize the importance of it and maybe didn't pour enough study into it prior to college, not recognizing the importance.
A lot of students just think it is another standardized test.
Sure.
That we don't use it for anything. They just think it's something they have to do. And I let them know that even when we have freshmen in high school on campus, we start talking about Keys money, how important the ACT is a part of that Keys money scholarship. But our academic scholarships are based on the ACT. And a lot of other college universities base their admissions on ACT scores as well. So we really, when we have freshmen and sophomores on campus, really start preparing for that ACT. Take the courses that you need to take the preparation courses as well.
Something that maybe should be pounded on a little harder is talking to middle school students as they prepare for high school, but the importance of grade point averages for the Keys money. Also the ACT preparation. There are study guides, there are study courses, and the importance of that and what it can mean as far as dollars and cents. It may not mean much to those students because I can recall those days. And like you, I was focused on whatever the sport of choice was for that particular season. And maybe the GPA didn't matter as long as I was still eligible to play. We find that focus a little later in life, but it certainly is something that you can relate to students that are being recruited to the University of Pikeville, whether they be athletes or just students that will go on to change our world. Amber Collins, also an alum of Pikeville College, then Pikeville College. There aren't a lot of young alums of UPike just yet, but the Pikeville College alums out there as well. Talk about that. How does that affect recruiting of students?
Well, U-Pike is very dear to me as well. One reason, I found my sweetheart at U-Pike.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I do talk about that to my
Sure.
students because, I'm still young and in love.
And a lot do. A lot find
Yes, they do.
They're mates for life.
Yes,
they
they
find
do.
those on a college campus.
So that's one reason.
Sure.
Unlike Gary, I was very involved in my classroom experience. I was a perfectionist when it came to my schoolwork.
Right.
So I did study very hard and go to all my classes, but I was very involved in the community dance program that we have
Right.
at U-Pike. We didn't have a dance team then, but we had the dance program. So that's where my heart was, in the dance program there.
Very successful dance program
Yes.
at then Pikeville College, founded by Peggy Davis.
Yes. So that's where my heart was, along with studies. That was my escape. But I find that I live 10 minutes from U-Pike. So I talk to a lot of the students. My schools are mainly local schools.
Sure.
So they're sort of in the same boat that I was. They're thinking about going away, but then they want to stay close to home. So I feel like I can relate to them because I did live 10 minutes from U-Pike.
Right.
So I ended up living at home and going to school. And a lot of students don't feel that they can live at home and go to school. But at U-Pike, we don't require students to live on campus,
Sure.
even as a freshman. So I get to talk with them about that a lot. And
Yeah.
I think it helps them open up and realize they can go to a local school and really have a good time.
And some students need that. They need that home structure, that comfort of being at home while still beginning their college career. Let's talk about the fall semester. Gary Justice, you and I talked during the course of the summer, a lot of excitement around the University of Pikeville campus and the admissions process, growing enrollment, record numbers being set. Let's talk about the fall semester that's now winding down. Let's talk about numbers that are now final for this fall, and is there continued growth at U-Pike?
The growth is still continuing, Andrew. Matter of fact, I got numbers this morning. We already have more students enrolled for the spring semester
Yes.
than we did last year at this time.
Wow.
So last year at this time we had 858 full-time students enrolled at the University of Pikeville. As of this morning, we already have 865 students enrolled, and we still have current students who, for whatever reason, haven't enrolled for the spring
Sure.
semester yet. Maybe a small building, a business office, and then also we've got open registration to go through. So the growth is still there, but also, Andrew, we've got a lot of excitement around campus about new programs coming on board, the new
Right.
master's programs coming on. I'm excited because in the spring semester I complete my master's of business
Right.
from the University of Pikeville, and that program is gaining a lot of excitement as well. So there's so many things to talk about the University of Pikeville, so many things to be excited about, and a lot of the students in the community, local schools, are very excited about it as well.
Absolutely. Of course, the new master's programs. Recently, on an edition of Where the 99 Lead, I had a chance to talk with Bruce Parsons about the new major in film and media arts, and with our video culture these days, I can see that being a hugely successful program. Amber, before we go further, the fall semester almost finished. What's the opening date for the spring semester? Because I know students are heading toward finals.
Yes. Classes will begin on January 14th. I think that's a Monday.
Okay, so we head toward the spring semester. About a month away, and of course some winding down their fall semester at other colleges and universities. We'll talk more about that, but another exciting semester at U-Pike. If a student wants to attend U-Pike in the spring, Gary, is it too late?
It's never too late, Andrew. At the University of Pikeville, we're the land of opportunity. We want students to, if they want an education, and now with today's economy, it shows the importance of having an education. With the coal mining jobs going away, and now more and more industries coming in, but requiring that bachelor's degree, we're there for the students. We're there for the community. So it is never too late. There's some paperwork we got to have for
Sure.
those students. We have open registration coming up on the January 10th and 11th. They show up, we'll get them signed up for classes and get them enrolled in the University of Pikeville as well.
So if someone's still undecided, maybe they set out the fall semester, maybe they sat around, they worked a job, weren't sure what they wanted to do, and the spring semester they're ready to begin their college career. Or maybe someone's been at another college or university, had to get away from home, had to try it. Maybe they were successful, maybe they weren't, but they found out that college away from home is not the thing for them. They want to come closer to home. Or maybe a student's been in another college or university and they want to transfer to the University of Pikeville, and get in on the excitement that's going on. They still have until January 10th or 11th, but I know part of this program airing at this time is we want them to get an early start on that process.
Because the paperwork is required.
Sure.
And we also want to minimize the lines they may have to go through on January 10th and 11th.
Right.
So the more students we get enrolled before that time, it lessens their inconvenience on January 10th and 11th,
Right.
and has a nice smooth transition to the University of Pikeville. But also I want the viewers and the people listening on the radio to remember scholarships are still available at the University of Pikeville.
That's incredible.
Most schools, once they enroll students in the fall semester, they close their scholarship system down, but at the University of Pikeville, we even open it back up for the spring semester as well.
Incredible. Truly incredible. Amber, if someone's been away or they're just getting started, what's the admissions process for UPike for the spring semester?
We try to make our admissions process very simple. First of all, the application is totally free. If you're filing your application online or if you're coming into our office, we'll sit down with you and help you fill out the application. Mm-hmm. It's free to apply. Then your next...
That's important.
Yes.
Because a lot of colleges and universities out there, they do attach an admissions application fee
Yes.
to that. And I'm not sure that there are a lot out there with an absolutely free application. Folks start applying to different schools, and there may be a $50, $100, or a $300. I've seen even a $300 fee attached to just an application. Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt.
You're okay.
I think it's important.
Yes, it is very important, and a lot of the students will be a little apprehensive. Well, I really don't want to apply because I'm attached to the school permanently and I got to pay the fee. Well,
Sure.
No, there's no fee, and you're not obligated to attend. Go ahead and fill out your application. The next step would be transcripts. We need your transcripts from your high school. If you've taken any dual credit courses, which are college courses while you're in high school, or if you are transferring from another school, we would need all of those transcripts, and we'll need the official copies mailed to us. We can have the unofficial to get you accepted, but then we'll need the official, and then we'll need ACT scores or SAT scores, whatever test they've taken. And with all those, once we get it put into our system, then you will be accepted.
Very good. Amber Collins, an admissions counselor at the University of Pikeville, Gary Justice, Director of Admissions at UPike. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and you're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, where we talk about all things regarding the University of Pikeville, and talking about admissions, talking about registration, talking about transfers or new students to UPike for the spring semester 2013. That's incredible. 2013 is upon us. Gary, we've talked about students who may have attended another university this past fall, and maybe it just didn't work out. It wasn't the fit for them. They've tried going away. Now they want to come back home for whatever reason. They want to come back. And you mentioned scholarships. What types of scholarships are available for the spring semester even?
Well, let's talk about first academic scholarships,
Okay.
and then also let's talk about athletic scholarships too. I know some universities, again, will not allow a student to come in the second semester have an athletic scholarship.
Right.
University of Pikeville a little bit different. Let's go back to the academic scholarship. If a student has less than 30 hours of college credit, then we base their academic scholarship on their ACT score.
Okay.
And that begins at a 16 on the ACT, and they receive more money the higher they score on the ACT. If they've attended a college for a couple semesters or they've had dual credit through high school and they have over 30 college hours, then we'll base it up on their college GPA.
Sure.
So going back to what we were talking about earlier on the ACT, maybe they didn't score as well as they wanted to,
Right.
but they got into it with the right people and they really have a really high college GPA, well, they'll receive more academic scholarship money at the University of Pikeville. But talking about athletics, also academic team, pep band, or even chorus, even through those mid-semester, the second semester of the year, they can come and get with that coach, the sponsor of the team, and they can actually join that team and receive scholarship money during the second semester.
It's incredible. It really is, because so many schools, unless you're part of an incoming class in the fall, you're excluded from scholarships until the next year. How rare is that?
It is very rare. A lot of the schools that we talk to, they have scholarship interviews in August where if you don't attend those interviews, you're not eligible for any scholarships. Coaches say, I'm sorry, I have my team booked for the year.
Right.
You have to wait until next fall. You come out and try out. At the University of Pikeville, we use our programs to help motivate students in the classroom.
Sure.
As far as on the athletic side, we don't have the big contracts with Nike or big TV deals. We use our athletics to boost our enrollment, to help motivate kids in order to achieve the academic success they want to. And also maybe it is somebody who wants to play in a pep band, but they don't want to major in music. They just want to continue playing in the pep band. We will give them that opportunity. Or if somebody wants to sing in the chorus or even compete on the academic team.
Absolutely. I can't sing a lick.
I can't either, Andrew.
They probably wouldn't take me for the chorus, but I know we've got a lot of talented folks out there.
Well, we'll get them in contact with Janine Freeman,
Yes.
and we'll let her make those determinations, Andrew.
Guarantee you. But even athletic scholarships, we have spring sports that will begin their seasons in the spring. So a new lacrosse program that I know is very exciting. We're looking forward to that. But baseball and softball, a talented individual who may have been at another school could come and join the team in the spring. Get in contact with the coach, and I know you help with that process as well.
We do. We set it up. In fact, we just had a young man on campus Friday. He came down from Louisville. The situation that you're describing, went to a community college in Louisville, decided he wanted to continue playing, and that community college did not have athletics. Got in contact with the University of Pikeville.
Sure.
Come down, did his visit. The coach worked him out that day, offered him a scholarship that afternoon, so he'll be enrolling in classes on January 10th and 11th.
Gary Justice, Director of Admissions at the University of Pikeville. Amber Collins, Admissions Counselor at the University of Pikeville. And if a student didn't attend school this fall for whatever reason, whether it be someone who graduated high school in 2012, weren't sure what they wanted to do. At that age, a lot of students are still trying to figure out what they want to do. They were trying to find themselves. Do I want to go to school? Do I want to stay closer to home? Do I want to enter the workplace? I'm really not sure where I want to go. If a student did not attend classes in the fall, they're eligible to register at UPike for the spring semester?
Yes, and we get that a lot. A lot of the students will go ahead and fill out an application,
Sure.
but they really don't know what they want to do. If they have already filled out an application, they do not have to fill out a new application
Right.
for the spring semester. So they could just come up to the admissions and talk with us, and we could move their application over to spring. If they haven't filled out an application, then they would have to start that process from the beginning, which is, like I said, early application, transcripts, and then test scores. And it's basically that simple. If they came in a few days before registration,
Right.
and they said, I've decided I want to go to school, we could have them accepted within the day. They could fill out their applications, we could contact their schools, get their transcripts along with ACT scores, and they'd be good to go, even if it was the day before registration.
And the application process available online. Mm-hmm. How long does that process take?
You fill out the application maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Really? That simple?
Yes.
And high school transcripts, they're available. I would imagine you have most of the high schools that students who attend the University of Pikeville, you've got those on speed dial, so you know who to speak to. You can get that taken care of.
Yeah, and we'll run to the high school and pick it up for them if we need to. We've done that before.
Incredible.
It's the process is really simple, Andrew, but it's simple for us because we do it every day.
Sure.
So if a student or a mom and a dad is not for sure what to do, just come to the admissions office, University of Pikeville. We'll do everything. We can't do everything for them, but we can point them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And we'll be standing beside them while they do it.
It may seem overwhelming because I think back a long time ago, and it was an overwhelming process. When you walk through that, especially by yourself, as you transition from high school student to an adult, and a college student is entering adulthood, and a lot of those things have to be done on their own. And I think about how overwhelming it was at that time. It sounds like that you've simplified the process so much. Now, application can be done online. Mm-hmm. High school transcripts you'll basically take care of, and you'll collect the ACT scores. Mm-hmm. And there's no fee for the application.
No.
There's no fee for anything that we do, even on the financial aid side. Once a student comes up, they come to the admissions, we know they're going to have help with grants and scholarships. We walk them down to the financial aid office to make sure they get in touch with the right
Sure.
people, and to make sure if they've completed their FAFSA, make sure the University of Pikeville is on there as well.
That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show when we start talking financial aid. But The FAFSA, very important. We've talked about scholarships for the spring semester. If someone is looking toward entering the spring semester and perhaps they completed FAFSA forms last year, is there money available entering the spring semester from those types of programs with grants and such?
Well, that is what we'll get in touch with the financial aid office to ensure. Sometimes it's just adding the University of Pikeville to their FAFSA.
Sure.
Maybe it just needs to be updated. So we definitely get with them experts. And what I want the viewers and listeners to make sure they realize is they come to the University of Pikeville, they get everything taken care of that day.
Right.
From admissions to financial aid, if they have an interest in a certain area about playing a sport, or maybe if they want to talk to somebody, they want to go to medical school, that's their passion down the road. We'll get them somebody at medical school to make sure they're on the right academic path to ensure their success as well.
Absolutely, and I know there are programs for incoming freshmen that they can apply through the medical school for a special program there that guarantees acceptance into the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine on the U-Pike campus. It's where the 99 lead. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. This program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by Gary Justice, Director of Admissions at U-Pike, and Amber Collins, an admissions counselor. And Gary, every semester U-Pike conducts open registration. That's a process that can be intimidating. I'm thinking back decades now, and what an intimidating process it was for me. What are the open registration dates for U-Pike for the spring semester?
January 10th and 11th, that's a Thursday and a Friday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we close down the doors when the last student is served,
Sure.
So we don't have a closing time. And the process all starts in Booth Auditorium. When they come in, they check in at the admissions table. We make sure they have the application completed. We have faculty advisors there, so they're going to be meeting with the advisor that morning.
Right.
We have financial aid counselors there too to make sure they get their grants and scholarships. So basically, they can show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and have their class schedule, have their financial aid, everything done by 10 o'clock.
Let's walk through that process. If someone wants to show up for open registration, January 10th and 11th, University of Pikeville Booth Auditorium, which is I guess the old large building,
yeah,
facing the boulevard, the Cole building, of course, the new building. But Booth Auditorium, they arrive there by the pedway from the parking garage. They arrive at Booth Auditorium. They come in, maybe they have an application completed, maybe they don't, and they show up. This is the first time you've ever encountered this person. You've never received an application, or maybe you have, and it's a local student who wants to come to the University of Pikeville. Let's walk through, because it sounds like you have stations set up that they will they will progress through on that day.
On that morning, let's say at 8 o'clock, as soon as they get off the elevator on the 5th floor in the Record Memorial Building, and if you're not sure which one Record Memorial Building is, it's the one connected to the parking garage.
Sure.
Free parking in the parking garage,
Right.
walk across the pedway, take the elevator to the 5th floor.
Yes.
Come off the elevator, you're going to have a welcome table. He's probably going to be, Amber's going to be sitting there to welcome you, and we're also going to have Della Abshire, who are our office manager for admissions. We check, make sure you have an application completed. If they haven't, we'll take them aside, we'll complete the application that time. If they have the transcripts, great, we'll go ahead and shift them on to the next section. If they do not have the transcripts yet, then that's where Amber will assist them in running down their transcripts, everything that they need that day to get
Right.
them accepted to the University of Pikeville. Once they get accepted through their application, high school transcripts, ACT scores, other college transcripts, then they will shift over and sign up for a faculty advisor.
Right.
What kind of classes you need to take. Now, are you a transfer student? Are you an incoming freshman? What do you need? We'll shift into that section. Then once they get done with that, then they'll shift to financial aid to make sure they have everything in place
Right.
as far as to help pay for their school.
Sure. Somebody's got to pay the bill.
Somebody has to pay the bill, Andrew.
Absolutely. And of course, scholarships still available for the spring semester. I think that's something that needs to be emphasized, but very simple process. Open registration January 10th and 11th. Amber, how long would that process take that we just walked through? From the time they show up at the parking garage, say they're an early riser, they're there at 8 a.m. They see your bright, smiling face at the welcome table. They go through and they complete an application. They go to transcripts. They go to test scores. They go to financial aid. They go to an academic advisor. How long is the process?
Well, honestly, usually that first day, 8 a.m., there's a lot of people there.
Yes.
They think they have to be there right at 8 a.m.
Yes.
You can come all through the day and even the next day. Honestly, the second day is a little less crowded.
Right.
But it may take an hour the first day, if that, an hour. And then the second day, maybe a little less time than that.
Hang on, I think I've spent more time in drive-throughs than that, just trying to get a food order. That's not a long process.
No, it's not.
It's a very simple process, and it sounds like that it's been made, it's been simplified for those that are curious about the University of Pikeville. That's open registration, January 10th and 11th. What if someone has decided now, as we sit the middle of December heading toward the holidays, maybe they've completed a fall semester at another college or university, or maybe they didn't attend. Can they go ahead and complete that process now?
They can come in and meet with our transfer counselor, Haley Combs, and we'll tell them what their classes will transfer in as. It's difficult to go ahead and complete the process now because they don't have official transcripts from that college yet. And the reason we want to do that is make sure we don't put students in classes they don't need.
Right.
It's for the students' convenience. But what we can do is we can do everything else leading up to that day. So on January 10th, the only station they go to is to get their schedule.
Right.
So we'll get them with financial aid. We'll go over and have their classes transferred in, what they'll transfer in as, meet with the registrar's office, make sure they're all right with the admissions office. So on January 10th or 11th, they can come in. The only thing they have to do is get their schedule. So if you do have that student that you described, right now they decide, I'm definitely coming to University of Pikeville the spring semester. Come on to the admissions office. Come meet with us. We'll get everything as much as we can taken care of for you. So on January 10th and 11th, all thing you got to do is pick up your schedule.
Recent high school graduate, maybe someone who graduated in the spring 2012, or even prior to that, maybe someone that graduated a year or 2 years ago and they've never attended college. They could go ahead and start the application process now, get the transcripts in place, get the test scores in place, talk to financial aid, and they could basically have the process complete prior to classes beginning on January 14th. Is that correct?
Correct.
We would love to take them and also come up and take a look at campus as well. And a lot this
Because
time
it's changed.
it has changed, yes, and the changes are wonderful. I mean, as far as the Donor Plaza, the Cole Building, the City View cafeteria, just the new offices for faculty. It's an amazing place to be. New student lounge on campus. Right. We're getting a new arcade put in for the students as well. I mean, there's so many things to talk about, Andrew. We could have a whole new show about the new things at the University of Pikeville.
Changes at the University of Pikeville on the next edition of Where the 99 Lead. Gary Justice, Director of Admissions, Amber Collins, Admissions Counselor at UPike, and it is Where the 99 Lead. They lead to campus, those historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus and the new Cole Building. Called it the City View Cafeteria. Mm-hmm. Is that the official name?
In my book, it is the official name, City View Cafeteria.
It's a lovely view. I've actually had a chance to have meals there. It's a tremendous addition to campus, and I can only imagine that the students have welcomed it with open arms.
Well, the thing is, students told me when they come back in August, when the building was open and the new athletic facility was open, the Hoops facility, it's like, did we transfer schools and just didn't know it?
Sure.
I said, no, the University of Pikeville is taking the next step.
All right. Amber Collins, you've been busy this fall recruiting students out representing the University of Pikeville. What does the future look like at UPike?
We have a lot of students excited, very excited, and that makes me happy and excited too.
You're in the high schools on an almost daily basis.
Yeah.
And students are excited, as we are, about the University of Pikeville. It's
Yes,
good to
they
hear.
are.
Gary Justice, Director of Admissions, I know you're on the road constantly, representing the University of Pikeville, talking to students and in fairs across the state with other colleges and universities. I know the University of Pikeville has a buzz locally in the community in eastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, southern West Virginia. But I've also heard folks from other colleges and universities, they've recognized there's a lot of excitement here.
A lot of different people from a lot of different areas have recognized the University of Pikeville, colleges and universities, but also students, not only local students, but I just got off the phone this morning with students who want to come down from Michigan, California, Florida, Ohio, New York. So the word is spreading not only just in the state of Kentucky, but also nationally as well at the University of Pikeville.
Absolutely. Gary Justice, Amber Collins, thanks for being on today's edition of Where the 99 Lead.
We appreciate it, Andrew.
It's Where the 99 Lead. You've been tuned in to another edition of the Admissions Corner. We talk about open registration January 10th and 11th at the University of Pikeville with Gary Justice, Director of Admissions, and Amber Collins, an admissions counselor. Guys, one last question. If they'd like more information, a number to call.
Be sure to call Della Abshire, 606-218-5251.
She can point you in the right direction. On behalf of Gary Justice, Amber Collins, and the University of Pikeville, the leading University of Central Appalachia, I'm Andrew Joyce. Thanks for tuning in.